Let's get one thing straight. 0.2 sucks. For serving as a tech demo for KH3, at the time, I and a lot of other people thought this game was revolutionary. I mean, just look at the pretty graphics. Oh, we can cancel out of attacks into cartwheels or air slides. But don't let it deceive you. It's a floaty, buggy, unresponsive mess. However, what lies beneath is one of the greatest secret bosses the Kingdom Hearts series has ever gotten. I'm talking, of course, about Zodiac Aqua. This boss will push you to your limits. If you've never seen footage of this fight or know anything about it, let me tell you, it's unrelenting. I remember the first time I took on this fight, it took me roughly an hour just to learn her patterns. Speaking of which, there's a lot of misconceptions about this fight and her design philosophy. We'll start there. I've seen people say things like, she's the modern day mysterious figure, which, yeah. The parallels I see people draw between the two are they're both unfair, way too fast to react to, some of their attacks are BS, etc. I really don't know how this boss is even remotely close to Mysterious Figure. Nothing in the series is close to that. He's the video game equivalent of slamming your head in a car door, and then for some reason you continue to slam your head in the door. Zodiac Aqua does something very few bosses in the series and even action games do. They flip everything you know about the game and its mechanics upside down. I hate to do this because, haha, this boss is like Dark Souls, who dare Sekiro. But I can compare Zodiac Aqua to the second owl fight in Sekiro. You come into these fights autopiloting what you've been doing the entire game, and you're going to get your ass handed to you, over and over and over again. This isn't the game's fault, though. Like people say, you just gotta get good. So many people have dropped Sekiro or insulted it like they've insulted Zodiac Aqua due to them thinking the game is just bad. It's unfair, when in reality, they just suck. That's it. Difficulty in video games is a hard balance to strike, but when your deaths are all your own mistakes, that's the pinnacle of what I think difficulty should be. And that's exactly what Owl and Zodiac Aqua nail so well. The boss isn't all of a sudden bad, it's just forcing you to adapt, and in a positive way. Owl is a behavioral-based boss. Depending on what defensive option you use will determine what attack he can use. Phantom Aqua isn't behavioral, but she's in the same boat of adaptation. You think you can just block her attacks and counterguard like any other fight? Nope, she'll just teleport away. Before Young Owl, you've been parrying attacks just to lower the posture of enemies and bosses, yet against Owl, this tactic isn't quite working. He's faster, he's more aggressive, he doesn't have these insanely long strings that you can block. You must do something different. What could it be? The health bar of enemies hasn't really been prevalent as the posture bar has been your main goal. Like in 0.2, when you fought Phantom Aqua, she's simpler and you could block her attacks much easier. You're not really forced to utilize block canceling as she's had so many windows of opportunity to attack her. Throughout the entirety of Sekiro and 0.2, we've been conditioned to fight bosses the way the game taught us to. Yet Owl and Zodiac Aqua are roadblocks in our path. We must learn to adapt, as the bosses are designed in a way to teach us how to beat them. We start to think about other aspects of the game we previously didn't pay much attention to. The health bar in Sekiro, and block canceling into cartwheels/jumping in 0.2. Both extremely integral aspects, yet we haven't had to utilize or think about them really until now. We start to try new things. Instead of just parrying or attacking when we can, we learn patterns and devise our own strategies. In Sekiro, we can't just block everything to beat Owl. We have to find these small windows to attack. We have to lower the health of the boss just to even get close to lowering his posture bar. In 0.2, we can't just block and counterblast, as the boss will just run away. We can notice that when we block Zodiac Aqua, she has this small window of her bouncing back in a staggered animation. Now, we can't attack her right out of guard, but what if we roll/jump and then attack? Aha, perfect. We have to play the game in a different way, and it forces us out of our comfort zone. Adaptation is the first shining point in what makes Zodiac Aqua so special, in both a vacuum and in the series perspective. Now that we've covered her patterns and her overall design philosophy, we can move on to another positive aspect about her, which is her new form of attacks. What makes her so special is she really feels like a stronger version of you, ironically, as does Young Owl in Sekiro. Funny how the two draw parallels so well, as Young Owl is also one of the most incredible boss fights I've ever experienced, for the same reasons. Now, that's not to say that a boss can only be this good if they mirror your attacks and are like a better version of you. That's purely coincidental. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. What's so special is, again, you're forced to adapt because of something we've never seen before. Red attacks are unblockable attacks, and have never really been in a Kingdom Hearts game until now. We've had command grabs or doom to show block won't work, but nothing is clear-cut as this red hue to indicate these attacks are different. She's the first to introduce them, and they do make a return in the Dark Inferno fight in KH3. All of her red attacks are reactionary, however. There's no tell or sign to when they come out. You're forced to constantly be moving, as if you stand still for too long or linger after an attack, she can use them at any given time. There are 5 attacks she can always use, which is her Retaliation attack, which comes out after you full combo her twice in a row or hit a revenge value, and it's just a simple attack you have to dodge out of the way. And a much more terrifying attack, consisting of a mid-air red strike towards you, then another after a small amount of time, and then another. This is the first half of a sequence of red attacks, and after a brief period of time, she will do 3 more in rapid succession. Her third one comes after you pick up on something that is introduced in this fight. Unlike Phantom Aqua, where she'll just stand there and let you attack her, she will teleport and red strike towards you. This is unique because this is a predetermined pattern that you can take advantage of. Simply rinse and repeat the strike and dodge pattern again, and the third time she will be open for attacks. Her fourth one is at the end of her strike combo, where she will teleport and lunge towards you, continuously and gradually attacking you before pausing for a brief moment and red striking to finish the combo. Now you won't know this the first time, but going back to what I said, this fight teaches you how to beat it. If you can't block the ending strike, perhaps try utilizing iframes to be safe. Things such as Counterblast, Grand Magic, or going into Spellweaver are all viable options. Her final attack is a variation of her DM attack from the third Phantom Aqua fight earlier in the game. Instead of it being blockable, the spheres will be red and you must dodge out of the way. These attacks are all very interesting as they are all learning tools to better equip yourself for the fight, each utilizing a different strategy to counter her attacks. You can also be a baller and parry her red strikes if you're feeling adventurous, which I like very much. What makes these red attacks so special is they take away your safety net of using block. Not to say block fails you, it's just teaching you when to block and when to dodge. Not only that, but they are just little additions to attacks the previous Phantom Aqua fights have had. Adaptation and education are the core components of this fight, and the red attacks are the perfect example of the latter. The formula for this fight is unlike anything I've ever seen in a Kingdom Hearts boss before, as the core formula has always just been block, attack, reduce the health bar by any means necessary. This fight, however, it adds so much. Zodiac Aqua has various audio cues, new never-before-seen attacks, and changes the fight's integral mechanics to something entirely different. This formula, it works so well, it's more than just reducing the health bar, much like, again, reducing the posture bar of Owl and Sekiro. When you introduce new ways to innovate boss design in a game or series that has only functioned one way, it can really expand the spectrum of what defines their greatness. Innovation, adaptation, and education. The holy trifecta of what makes Zodiac Aqua so special, especially in regards to a series like Kingdom Hearts. I really hope with Remind right around the corner, they draw from this design philosophy and continue to innovate bosses in new and creative ways that we the player can truly appreciate.